Anyway, so I stuck my hand in the tank, grabbed both fish at the same time, and that's when, oh, hey guys, didn't see you there. So here's how we're going to be doing things. You guys send us questions and we're going to answer them. Our question for this week, which was brought by our lovely listeners and cats, is what do you think most people are missing from their workout regimen?
So I'd say that most people essentially train like bodybuilders, in the sense that they're trying to look a certain way, they're trying to work specific muscles, and they're kind of training for a lack of knowledge and not knowing what to do, or seeing what everybody else is doing. They are training specific body parts like your biceps or your glutes or your lats or whatever, and they're trying to essentially grow those muscles, and they're trying to tone up and lean out, and look a certain way. So a lot of it has to do with looking a certain way, which means that you can be neglecting other aspects of fitness that are related to how you look, but also have, no correlation, so to speak.
What they call glamour muscles. A lot of people train just their glamour muscles.
You can say that. So some of those components would be things like coordination, stability, mobility, power, which is, usually just something that athletes do, but everyone should be doing.
I agree with you, and I think a lot of people neglect specifically things like mobility, which I feel like they think is BS, or like they'll do like a static stretching before their workout and think like, oh, I've done my mobility, but really they're hindering their performance in the future because all they're focused on is these movements that are usually very static in nature. You know what I mean? They don't use coordination.
They just sit there and hold a stretch.
Exactly. Whereas you need to be more mobile, to be more functional. I know that's a buzzword that's been going around, but functionality is actually a very important thing that people are neglecting with their training.
Why would you say that those things are important? Like, let's say someone's watching saying like, well, I don't care about any of that. I just want to look good, brah.
Well, brah.
I'm stuck in the early 2000s.
The early 2000s. Surfers and people like that.
All the bros that we train.
All the bros. So a lot of people just stick to things like bench pressing or push-ups or things like that, and that's fine if you're incorporating it as part of a larger program. But if that's all you're doing, then you're probably going to end up with a hurt shoulder or messing something else up because you're not moving as the human body is intended to move, which is, in all planes, using, like you said, the coordination, the stability, moving those joints in different angles. It's all very one-dimensional, which is not good in the long run.
Yeah, that's a good point. A lot of people, again, they just see exercise as a means to an end. I want to look a certain way, but ideally you would want to function better as a human being when you move throughout your day, whether it's going up and down a flight of stairs or hiking or running after your kids. Your body is moving in all these different planes, and it's you're never actually sitting there just doing this one-dimensional thing like a bicep curl. It's an integration of all your muscles. So you should at least have some part of your training that mimics that.
Yeah.
And if you are like a weekend warrior and you like to play sports, and it's even more important to incorporate those things because now you're like really working to reduce injuries, improve performance, and just make you a more resilient human.
Yeah, people get into their 30s and you see them dropping like flies out on the football field. They think they can go out there and still play flag football with their friends. It's not that easy.
Not gonna happen. Better be doing some Nordic curls.
If you don't know what that is, you're already in trouble.
Okay, so how would you suggest that people start adding these other components? Like, let's say I am doing like a bodybuilding type split. First of all, do I need to like change my entire routine, or can I just sprinkle some of these other components in there, or like how would you go about it?
I personally, how I would go about it is sprinkling it into like a superset. So let's say you're in a bench press, maybe throwing some band dislocations, some pull aparts, something to keep that shoulder health, and it doesn't have to necessarily fatigue you. You could just add it, like supplement it into your workout. So let's say you want to add some stability, you'll add today's RDLs, you'll do a single leg RDL or something like that. If you want to add some balance into your system, into your program, and just sprinkle it in there. I don't think you have to change everything dramatically. I would think just changing things here and there instead of an intense superset that's gonna burn your recruit all your muscle fibers. Throw something in there that's a little more mobility, maybe some power. Or ask somebody that knows what they're doing, go to a class, see how they do things, and maybe mimic that into your own workout.
Yeah, that's a good point. I mean, of course, we're biased, but working with a coach is always important, especially in the beginning. And it doesn't have to be something that you do forever, but at least having the peace of mind that I'm doing like a legit program. You know, this was created in a specific way, evidence-based way, and you know, I could just go off and now I just have to put in the effort in doing the work, but not having to figure out, okay, what am I gonna do today? Because I feel like that's a big problem where like you walk into a gym and unless you're like in the industry and have studied this stuff, you're like, okay, well, I see that person doing squats, that must be good. This machine, oh, I guess it works out like your chest. Okay, I'll do some of that. But there's no real like thought process behind a structured program.
Yeah. I think that covered all our bases for that one question. If you guys have any more, we'll be sending out newsletters and you guys can shoot your questions in there. We're going to try to get through all of them. Is that we have so many viewers and followers that
Mom, dad,
oh my
our
God.
aunt.
So it's going to be tough. But send in your questions and we're going to try to get them out of the way. We'll be doing small, short videos like this and hopefully we answer any questions you have.
You can also comment.
Comment, click below, join the Patreon. Cheers.